Mr. Sierra, you couldn't have appeared at a better time. You see, while out patrolling the city, I chanced to sight a void scent. I immediately chased it down with the intent of eliminating it, but something about it struck me as odd. For one, it made no move to defend itself, but simply sat there, jiggling. Which is why, against my better judgment, I decided to capture it instead. Having traveled to the void, I dare say you have considerable knowledge on of its denizens. If you have a moment, might I trouble you for your opinion on the creature's unusual behavior? I'm truly grateful. Now, if you would follow me, the creature is being held at the Hall of the Radiant Host. Oh, I could have... Here it is. Surprisingly docile even when I captured it. And there have been no reports of attacks prior to that. Hugh, I remember you. Yes, you are the Troya. Please, you must help me. You were at the castle. Indeed I was, but I've since fled here. I understand the mortal tongue well enough, but I don't have a mouth to produce the sounds. It's been a struggle to convey my thoughts. But not anymore. You can help me. Yes, you can. You can converse with the voids. Amazing. Could you ask why it came here? When you and yours stormed the castle, I was caught up in the fighting and died. In time I returned, but tired of fighting. So I fled, using the gate to your world. Having just been reborn, however, my essence hasn't fully bonded together yet. And so when I emerged from the gate, it was as several sundered selves. Frightened and confused, they scattered. Following the trail led me here, my diminutive size allowing me to remain largely unseen. But by the same token, I can do little more than sneak about. Each of us was weak and powerless. That's why we consumed one another in the first place. Together we were strong. I want you to help me find all of me so I can be whole again. You wish to strike a bargain then? Yes, I would. To be whole again and live in this world, I would strike 1,000 bargains. We still remember the past, you see. Still remember when we were mortals. We long to have that life again, but we need your help, starting with reuniting us. We won't try to devour anyone even when we're whole, I swear. You wish to learn more about the Void, yes? There is much we can teach you about those who rule domains, about their past. Find the others and they'll tell you all they know. No eating, no tricks. Do we have a bargain? So it crossed over to our world to escape conflict and now searches for the rest of itself? I understand the Voids are quite reliable when it comes to fulfilling a pact, and I dare say having one as an ally would benefit our research into the world. Very well. If you'll be so kind as to search for his kin, I will consult my superiors on how best to deal with them. By that, I shall take it we have a bargain. Good, good. I sense 4 others close by. When you find them, you need only point them in this direction. Once they sense my presence, I can guide them the rest of the way. My thanks again for your help. If you could see the other voids back here, I would come to the rest. Like me, the others have an interest in the lives of mortals. They're bound to be here, in the city. What's that? I asked you to search for me in exchange for knowledge about the powerful Voidson? I was still wanting to see this and that, but I suppose a deal is a deal. Those men over there, soldiers, are they not? We used to have soldiers in our world too. There were lots of them during the Contra Memoria. Ah, back when the Weavers from the Weavers' warding, are you? I heard you fought well against the Voidson that slipped through. Come now, I merely did my duty. Haven't we all sworn to protect our nation, no matter the cost? Protect our nation. How familiar are those words? Where was it I heard them? Ah yes, it was the early days of the Contra Memoria. The enemy had conjured a terrible eidolon that laid siege to the fortress. The garrison was made up of ordinary soldiers, men and women with no remarkable abilities, but led by their valiant commander, they fought bravely and desperately. They had to last until the Memorate arrived. The commander told them, needed to hold out no matter the cost. The Memorate did eventually arrive, but not soon enough for the soldiers. Having struck down the Eidolon, the Memorate, and a servant searched the castle for survivors. They found only the dead. But just when they had given up all hope, a faint groaning reached their ears. They rushed over to the sound and cleared away debris. To find a lone survivor, the garrison commander. Instead of joy, however, the sight of the man filled them with anger. Your soldiers are slaughtered to a man, and yet there's barely a scratch on you. What's the meaning of this? The Eidolon was savage, but mindless. It was a simple thing to hide myself beneath fallen debris. Hide? As commander, you had a duty to your men. You were supposed to put their lives before your own. Spare me. My duty was to ensure the fortress stood, and it did. Besides, my death would have achieved nothing. Honor be damned. No, I'm sworn to protect our nation, and to do that I must live. It isn't my fate to fall here. It isn't your fate, you say? Damn. Is he? Merely unconscious. Come, let us bury the soldiers and the commander with them. Fate shall decide what becomes of him, whether he lives or dies. Very well, my lord. Funeral rites were held later for the fallen, but solemn tears quickly gave way to horrified screams as a body emerged from the earth. The commander. I can't die. I must live, the man is said to have declared. People thought him a demon, a disheveled horror, muttering curses as he wandered off to regions unknown. Scarmeleone, they called him, a name befitting his newfound grisly visage, a name befitting a monster. We buried him deep, but a mortal's desire to live is not to be underestimated. You're mortal, so I expect you understand the desire. Well, that concludes my tale. I'm just enjoying myself, if you'll excuse me. So this is where mortals consume ether. Treading loneliness more than hunger. However, like me, if you don't mind, though I'd like to absorb the mortals a while longer. The food here is simply sublime. Why, I feel stronger with every bite, as if the Vertiga themselves are granting me their blessing. The food is tasting as true enough, but no food is so sublime as to be a substitute for proper training, my friend. Stronger with every bite, every feed. For my part of the bargain, I will tell you about how we Voidsent became strong. Simply put, it depends on the quality and quantity of the ether we harbor. When the world was consumed by darkness, the heroes known as the Memoriates arose as powerful Voidsent. In contrast, the vast majority of mortals, powerless and unremarkable as they were, became ordinary Voidsent, like me. There were exceptions, of course, but one in particular I will never forget. Scarmelione. Never had I seen a Voidsent so craven. Even when he pushed to the brink of starvation, he would prey only on those weaker than himself. He subsisted on scant leavings and lived in constant fear and hunger. In the face of danger, Voidsent stronger than himself, fleeing was the only option. But a day came when he found his way barred. How pitiful. Such overwhelming ether. Who is this? You fled instead of facing your foe. Why? Why? I'm too weak. Why else? I would have been devoured. So you had enough strength. So had you enough strength, you would have stood your ground. Very well then. What's happening? Yes, I feel it. The power swelling within me. Lo, your foe returns. What have you done to me? I granted you but a sliver of ether. 'Twas with the power you already possessed that you defeated your foe. I possessed such power. Fear had clouded your eyes, blinded you to the strength you had attained when feeding on the weak. If you would free yourself from fear, then join me. You shall have greater cause to live for and know true power. Curious how, in a world without death, the fear of it could be the key to great strength. The knight recognized this void sense potential, and thus did he take him into his service. Determined as he is to live, it wouldn't surprise me if he were still somewhere out there. He'd be even more powerful now, I expect, from all the devouring he would have done since. Unlike your world, eating actually makes you stronger than ours. Well, I must be going now. The others are waiting. My other self grows lonely, you say. My apologies. It was my intent to seek out the others, but I was distracted by the bickering pair of mortals yonder. My goodness, but there's been some colorful language. To hell's with your father! You shouldn't need his permission just to leave the goddamn house. Please mind your language. What would father say if he were to hear you? Ugh, it's always father this, father that with you. I'm sick of it. You're your own woman now. Bloody act like one for a change. Colorful language, yes? Not from the girl, though. Oh no, she appears to be quite well bred. Just hope she's happier than a girl I knew long, long ago. That girl was born into a family of thugs who suddenly found themselves nobility. She was raised as a noblewoman and had servants tending to her every need, but in the end she was merely a beautiful bird kept in a gilded cage. Wanting her to be a proper lady, her parents decided for all aspects of her life. They decided everything for her, telling her what to do and what to say. Chafing from letters of her restrictive life, she solicited her handmaid's aid and stole outside the manor, where she enjoyed a moment of bliss unbeknownst to her parents. Oh, so she thought. It was not long before her father dragged her back to her room, barring the door and windows, denying her even the simplest pleasure of an afternoon breeze. Even a bird in a cage may chirp freely, but she wasn't even suffered to give her voice to her desires. But she wouldn't be deterred. Having once tasted sweet freedom, she yearned for more. And one day she succeeded in sneaking out of the manor a second time. You're late. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come. If you're expecting your friends, I'm afraid they're not coming. Father, how did you... What do you mean, they're not coming? I had known that some miscreants were cavorting in these parts, but to think that they dared to try to consort with my daughter, well, you needn't worry about them anymore. They're food for the fishes now. How can you do this, Father? Why must you torment me so? Know your place, girl. You're a means for our family to gain influence, and I won't have you soloing yourself with riffraff. Oh. You will not leave your chamber save with my permission, nor you will disobey me again. If you do so, there will be severe consequences. Am I understood? I said, am I understood? To hell. What did you say? I said go to hell! Whoa. To think it would be so exhilarating to speak my mind, to do as I please. No more living in a cage. From this moment on, I am free. Free as the wind. The young woman struck out on her own, and her travels discovered her true calling. Not on the halls of lords and ladies, but on the battlefield. She became a force of nature, famed for her striking beauty, which belied a terrible savagery. With this new life, she also claimed a new name, Barbaricia. Indeed, she found her freedom. But did she also find happiness, I wonder? Suppose I'll never know. Nor does it matter, for the world that once was is no more. Oh, but goodness me, I had better rejoin the others. What a refreshing breeze. I'm to return to the others. They should come here. Would you not look at this beautiful, boundless sky? Mortals take to the air from here, do they not? Would that I had wings to soar among the clouds myself. But we voids are not wont to roam, you see. The mightiest among us carve out domains, while the rest labor to stay in their good graces. Now, the master of domains seldom ventures outside, for it is one's territory that one is strongest. For some, however, such confinement proved tiring. As was the case for a certain voidson I knew. I speak of the free-spirited terror, Barbaricia. When she first established her domain, she whiled away the days waiting for her minions to bring her prey. Either a mass from these offerings was devoted to a singular pleasure of caring for her silky flowing locks. But the resources of her domain were not without their limits. It was only when none remained to oppose her that she realized she was a prisoner in her own domain. And unless she broke free, she would inevitably wither away alone. Not knowing what to do, she had fallen out of the depths into the depths of despair, where the hand of salvation came to pull her out. At this rate, my precious hair would frazzle and fray, had I only the strength to leave my domain. If strength is what your desire, that is easily granted. Who are you? Ah, such power surging through me. And what will you do with it? What is your desire? What is that desire? What a desire is. very domain. Impressive. That I can do such a thing. What have you done to me? I granted you ether, nothing more. It was your will that made it possible. My will. Even so, no matter where you should go, there is naught but darkness. What could your destination possibly be? Destination. I have no need of such. I wish but to be free, like the wind. In a world that met its end, rare is indeed its soul who desires freedom so ardently that she can move her very domain to move, will her very domain to move. Recognizing this quality, the knight would grant him more power, and a place of command in his mighty army. A story worthy of our bargain, I trust. I might have had more to tell had I not fallen off her domain. Seems you mortals have a fondness for flying. I would certainly like to try riding one of those airships of yours. But perhaps another time. My other selves will be blubbering mess if I don't hurry and rejoin them. Since being in your company, I cannot help but feel I've changed somehow. The world does not appear as it did when I first arrived, nor suspect with the void were I to return. It is a strange, though not unpleasant feeling. Voids are all present and accounted for. So long as they remain here, we need to worry about panic among the townsfolk. Thank you so much for finding me. I hope the knowledge I had to share was worthy of our agreement. More than worthy, I'd say. They told me of Scarmiglione and Barbaricia. Other selves live quite disparate lives, both as mortals and void sent. Though I suppose it is rather fortuitous they crossed paths with such a powerful void sent. But more importantly, what they could offer was worthy of our bargain. For that I am glad. All that remains now is to rejoin and become whole again. Huh? Is this not all of me? There can be no other explanation. There's still more of me lost out there somewhere. I don't sense them. Where could they have gone? You mean there's more than one about? By the sisters. At the very least, if what you say is true, then they pose no more threat to the people. Until the others can be found, we'll keep these 5 under our care. Should I sense the others know about it, I hope we can count on you to find them too. Would you tell us of your recent adventures while you next return? I promise to make it worth your while. If it is Mrs. Iyhara, since you last spoke, I could continue keeping an eye on the void sent. While the creatures have given me no reason to believe they pose a danger, the rest of them remain at large. My fellows and I have yet to come by any eyewitness information, but their forms being what they are, they cannot have gone far. Of course, it would make our search easier if they were likewise drawn to Razat. My other selves have been telling me about their adventures. Truly, your world is a fascinating place. Well, your world is fascinating too. So you enjoyed hearing my tales. I would be glad to share more with you. Once I found the rest of me, that is. The others have more knowledge of the mighty void cells. The sensation. Could it be? Yes, I feel them. The rest of myself. They're very close now. There's 4 of them, and unless I'm mistaken, there's somewhere in this city. Please find them for me, that I might be whole again. As before, by way of payment, they will tell you all about powerful voids and their pasts. Now, the nearest appears to be this way. Perhaps that's a good place to start. The rest of its fellows appeared in the city. Then you best track them down. Judging by the direction, I expect the nearest one is in Dara. I leave the creatures in your capable hands. The others will have seen some signs of their own. How I look forward to hearing their tales. Worry not, I will see to that these ones do not wander off. Best of luck finding their fellows. You've been looking for me, you say? Sorry for the trouble. I found a place with beautiful water, and I thought I had a rock, but ended up being washed away. I tried to get back upstream, swimming against the flow, and had managed to come this far when he appeared. All that effort, I'd like nothing more than to reunite with my other selves. If you have promised a tale, then you shall have one. Nothing but small fry. See that model there? You fished me up, but promptly released me while calling me a hideous slug. I don't know what that was about, but it worked out well enough. Oh, to be out in the open sea and catch something big. Doesn't afford a half a decent rod. I'll just have to put up with this tired old fishing pole. I know that feeling well. Desire to chase after big fish. I used to be a fisherman too, you see, together with my brother. But the Contra Memoria wreaked havoc on the ocean's ether, and nary a fish remained to be caught. Each morning we'll wake up not knowing whether we've got food to fill our bellies. On a day like so many before, we were waiting in vain for a bite. My brother's face was fixed in a grimace, and I assumed he was cursing the war in his mind. But it turned out he was thinking about something else altogether. And when he finally spoke, the frustration was plain in his voice. Even if there are fish to catch, this is how we're going to live out my days. Sitting endlessly on with a pole in hand. It's like dying a slow death, and I can't take it anymore. More so than our privation, it was the mundane, unchanging nature of our lives that bothered him. The next instant he blurted out, "That's it! There's a war I'm going to fight too. That way I won't be bored at least." And just like that, he threw aside his rod and set off, right into the thick of conflict. Damn it. It's over. Who the hells are you? Whoever you are, I'm in your debt. I've exhausted my powers. I was about all but defeated, but now none remain to oppose me here. Perhaps you would consider serving me. You would be well rewarded, of course. I could grant you riches, castles. What is the meaning of this? Weren't you a friend? Friend? I'm just after some excitement. So come on, give it to me. There you are, thanks heavens. What were you thinking, taking on Memorians with your bare fists? However strong you may be, you're lucky to be alive. Alive. Yes, I've never felt so alive. Where are you going? No more chasing small fry from me. From now on, I'm going to live with a life for the thrill of battle. I'll seek out those stronger than me and give them a taste of my fist. Never have I felt alive as I did, risking life and limb, he said as he strode away, never to return. Sometime afterwards, a rumor reached me of a fearsome warrior, the man who would arrive unannounced in a battlefield, trounce everyone and anyone indiscriminately before disappearing again. Gagnazzo, that he was called, and cursed for a feral dog. That was enough for me to know that my brother still lived. It was only when I became a void synth that I came to understand my brother. To understand the emptiness he felt in his mundane life. It inspired me to want to break free from my own unchanging existence, and instilled in me a longing for this world. For all his quirks, he was a kind and good brother, always looking out for me and helping me with my fishing. Like everyone, he must have turned into a void synth. If I had a chance to come here, I believe he would have found a purpose in life. A problem. I could relieve those memories. And with that, I best go and join my other selves. Be seeing you. What? Business is a mortal hobby with me. So the rest of me are safe. Oh, thank goodness. It was worth risking myself to let the others escape. No sooner had we arrived in this world than we were attacked by fearsome creatures of stone. Through their attention and after scrambling hither and yon, I managed to get myself to safety. To so jealously guarded treasure, you mortals must be terribly fond of it. Look! There's another place for storing it right there. They say it's mountain after mountain of treasure in there. We just nearly found the coffer that act as portals. And then survive the guardians and deadly fiends. I don't like our chances with just the three of us. Less of us means bigger share for each. Exactly. Besides, what's an adventure without a little danger? I'm really not sure about this. You're willing to throw oneself into danger. It's truly a strange mortal quirk. Like your kind, we voids and are quite risk averse. For instance, we wouldn't think to challenge a stronger being. Except for him, perhaps. Not a fellow who'd love fighting for its own sake. His name was Kanyazo. And there was nothing he feared in his domain. Employing deception, he trapped his foes and drowned them in bottomless mire. Mattered not how strong they were. All fell before him. Yet despite his victories, he never felt truly satisfied. And through a chance meeting, he would learn the reason why. That you should repel my attack. You're tougher than I expected. To whom do I speak? I am Kanyazu, and I'll bet you're the one they say seeking out the strong. Was battle you want, then you need no further. Lest you misunderstand, I do not desire fruitless battle. On the contrary, it would seem that it is you who seek out the strong. Why? When you're hungry, you devour. Doesn't matter who. You'll look just right out when you stroll into my domain. None would so risk themselves simply because of an empty stomach. Nay, my friend, the source of your hunger lies elsewhere. What is this ether? So sublime and pure. There's so much I'm ripe to burst, and yet I still don't feel satisfied. Do you see? It is not for ether that you thirst, but battle. You'll not quench this thirst with stagnant swamp water. Nay, save that of a raging torrent will sate you. What do you mean? There is no joy to be had in ensnaring your quarry. To a victory to have savor, you must place yourself in the midst of danger. If you join me, I shall see to it that you never want for dread foes to grant you satisfaction. What say you? Why do I feel as though I'm remembering something important? Whoever you are, I would know more. And thus did he find a place to belong, upon the fine line that divides the devourer and the devoured. If he could do battle with just one worthy foe, he told himself he could go to his rest forever satisfied. From that day forth, Kanyatsu tirelessly sought out those who might be able to do best, each time hoping for bliss, but knowing that, like as not, disappointment ultimately awaited. A yearning so strong, nothing else matters. Do you have such a thing driving you too, mortal? Looking back, it was extremely reckless of me to come to this world, but it's been worth every bit of danger and more. I can't wait to share my experiences with myself. We're on my way now. Thanks for coming to find me. Hello, stranger. You're a challenger too. Seems House Seren has deigned to open up a part of the treasure vault in an effort to lift the spirits in the city. The rest of me are here too. What a relief. I was taking in the sights in a village nearby when I realized I'd become separated. I'm glad to have decided to follow the climber and head to this city. There's so many mortals here, so many beautiful buildings. Father, what is this building? This, my boy, is the resting place of the great Alzadal. Centuries ago, he journeyed here from the mainland and helped end the war between the Mag and Tanga tribes, an act which laid the foundation for the nation of Radzadad. So it's thanks to him that we all get along. Ah, a tomb, a place for mortals to remember the dead, calls to mind the people from my own past. My mother, who died in the grim Contra Memoria, and the others, and the ones who laid her to rest. Long, long ago, there lived two powerful mages. It is said none could match their might, and yet they nevertheless continued to hone their skills at the training ground atop a peak called Mount Ordeals. One day, fell fiends began attacking villages unprovoked. Upon hearing the grim tidings, mages came to a resolution. Through years of training, we have mastered our flames. 'Tis time for us to employ them in the salvation of the world. So it was that the pair descended the mountain and set about vanquishing the fiends. Just that one left. Leave it to me. No, don't! Please don't hurt her. Don't hurt my mother. Your mother? Ah! Please save her, I beg you. What do I do? He seems to have no choice. She's been turned into a crystal. I said I would save the world, but I couldn't even save a single life. My flames were meant to be like the sun. They were meant to protect, to keep warm in the light the way. And yet... In his great fury at his failings, the mage's face turned as red as ruby. Thus did the girl choose to call him Rubicante. The mage returned to his mountain where he buried his comrade. Upon the gravestone he etched the words of admonishments and continued his training alone. And one day, when visiting his comrade's grave, he found the familiar crystal that had been left there. His presence lifted a great weight off his chest. Without words, he told him that the girl was grateful for what he did. That day he regained something he had lost. And descending the mountain once more, he embarked upon a journey, determined to use his powers for good. As sad as it is to lose a precious life, it's sadder still to think to lose one's purpose. Mount Ordeals has been swallowed up by darkness, and his comrade's grave with it. But wherever Rubicante may be, I'd like to believe that the little girl still remains in his heart. Well, it's past time I rejoin the others. It was nice talking to you, mortal. You come calling me, you say? I can appreciate my separation anxiety, but I answer to no one, not even myself. I am my own master. I will do what I like, when I like. I will join the others at my own leisurely pace. Mortals, on the other hand, always seem to be busy at work. Short as their lives are, one would think they'd spend more time on leisure. They're truly strange creatures. Still burning strong, just like at the start of the experiment. By the sisters, but tending the flame is mind-numbing work. Someone has to do it, I suppose. I just wish it wasn't me. Tending the flame. It reminds me of voids that I once knew. He watched over a beacon fire, setting it to that it remained ever lit. Like that mortal, however, he did it of his own volition. Such an act served no practical purpose in our world. Even if night and day existed, we whites don't rely upon light. Yet, he persisted. Though perplexed by his curious ritual, I somehow found myself helping him with it. Rubicante was his name, and he went about his task dutifully. Others mocked him for this meaningless act. But it must have held some manner of meaning to him, and so when I chanced to find the beacon and get it out, I made certain to let him know. For time out of mind, this routine continued, interrupted, to that fateful day. I see flames dancing in the distance. Who should I find tending it but a mage of considerable might? With such power, surely you can do more than keep a beacon lit. My flames serve not to smite others, or to sate my hunger. Then what purpose do they serve? I cannot say for certain, but to simply behold this flame somehow sets my heart at ease. I see. It would seem your lack of power to comprehend the feelings engraved upon your soul. But such a lack is readily rectified. This warmth, invigorating and comforting. Where have I felt it before? Of course, the sun, which once shone upon its light upon creation. Though it would said never did it fail to rise again, and like the sun, my flames must never die. So that is the way of it. Through your flames, you sought to recreate the sun's journey, to recreate the world as it was before. Who are you? Who could unearth memories beneath the deepest recesses of my heart? It matters not who I am, but what I seek to do. Join me. Together we shall banish the darkness and see that the sun rises again. According to that mysterious night, the price to save the world was clear. The inhabitants of the neighboring reality must be sacrificed. To which Rubicante replied, I have sworn to use my power to save the world. If innocent souls must be consumed by my flames, then I should bear the responsibility for this sin. Thus did he choose his path of his own volition, and his spirit lives on in me as an undying flame. The world engulfed in darkness had become the norm. But since coming here and basking in the sun, I've been reminded of all that we had lost. I understand the Rubicante better now, understanding why he was willing to sacrifice all to restore the world to the way it was. To him, it was worth the price. I must say, it felt great to take squirm down memory lane. With that, I shall now rejoin the others. My own volition, of course. 1, 2, 3. This is all of them, man. You did it. You found all of me. I trust I upheld my part of the bargain and told you about my mighty voids. I learned about the past of Cagnazzo and Rubicante. You had already crossed paths with them. Though the tales may not help you in the battles ahead, I dare say they give you something to think about. As mortals, then void-sent and archfiends, these troubled souls fought with all their being. And now their fight is over. Well, I myself have only heard the tales from the others. If I'm to make my feelings my own, I might need to become whole again. Which I can do now, thanks to you. So all of them are accounted for. By all means, then let's have them return to the way they were. Without further ado then, to me myself. At last, we're whole again. There's nothing we need fear. And that, with each of us experiencing since coming here, it's as if we've experienced it all for myself. I'll say it again, but this world is truly a fascinating place. I must see you more of it. Yes, I must. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but not as whole. I can't help but feel it's more of a danger. Yet, with the undersea portal destroyed, there's no way it can return to it whence it came. Whatever shall we do now? What's this I see? Oh, it's void sent. There's a few of them in that direction. More of my brother made it over, it seems. Curious, though. This is much farther than I can usually perceive. I can only assume my vision has improved. Could this be the cumulative effect of my experiences here? What? I can sense this come from a vast distance. Amazing. Such an ability would make the task of tracking down invading voids in a breeze. The creature would agree to assist us in this matter. I'm confident we can convince my superiors to forge a pact with it. Oh, if it means I can remain in this world, I will gladly agree to that arrangement. I can't say how much I'm indebted to you, mortal. Working with this fellow here, I'll find a way to communicate with your kind if I make myself useful. Thank you for everything. With regards to communication, as the creature appears to understand our words, I believe I shall begin by teaching it letters. With some effort, I'm confident we will become some air law. I will be on my best behavior until we've forged a pact. There's nothing short of a dream to come true to be in this world. Do whatever it is required to remain.